The small town of Wauchula, Florida, is home to a disturbing piece of folklore, the Bloody Bucket Bridge. The road runs from Main Street in Wauchula. If you travel down it, you will eventually come out on Route 64 that runs between Zolfo Springs and Avon Park. It was once a dirt path named Reinhardt Road and said to be more than 100 years old. It can be found on maps printed before 1900. It is there that you find a bridge with a dark legend centered around it. The story goes that a woman, some say, was named Ludmilla Clark, but many versions of the legend call Mary was an ex-slave that moved from Georgia in the years following the Civil War and settled in Wauchula with her husband. It is here that she took up work as a midwife and is said to have delivered hundreds of babies, making her a very respected member of the community. Over time, something in her changed. Something sinister took over in her mind. Ludmilla began killing the newborn babies, convincing the parents and community they were stillborn. Her reasons are a mystery. Some say she became obsessed with overpopulation. Others say she wanted to get even with the people that once enslaved her. The most popular theory suggests delivering so many babies drove her to madness because she had previously lost several of her own. Child mortality rates were much higher in those days, and they often didn't have normal funerals and the cemetery burials that we know today for the stillborn children. Instead, Ludmilla would take the bodies and buckets of afterbirth down to the river under the infamous bridge, burying the dead children on the riverbank and dumping the afterbirth into the water, turning it red. More and more babies turned up dead. The more suspicious the town became of Ludmilla, the more distanced from reality she became. She eventually lost her standing in the town and her work as a midwife. However, she would still take empty buckets to the bridge, believing they were full of blood and remains, and dump them into the water. It is said she continued going to the river more often the following years, trying to calm the cries of children she heard in her mind. It eventually became too much for her to bear, and she either committed suicide or fell in the water and drowned. The following years, people began hearing her fall into the water whenever there was a full moon, and the water near the bridge would run red on those nights. Others heard the cries of babies. It was then that townspeople began calling it Bloody Bucket Road and the Bloody Bucket Bridge. Legend says when the moon is full, the cries can still be heard, and the red water can still be seen to this day. So, legend fans, do you believe? Give us your theories or encounters in the comments below. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel, and be sure to check out the link in the description to this video for cool merch of this legend and legends from around the country. See you next time, legend fans.